Yo, what's up? This is the Philan Flash, TJP, and from one homegrown LA person to another, this shout out is for the Circle of Debate podcast. Thank you so much for being a fan. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Thanksgiving special. A moment in history that we're doing for the first time. First time, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a Circle Debate podcast show. This is also a rewind, recap, relive show. It's also that 90s wrestling podcast. It's also the you gotta give the people what they want at the Dirty Heels podcast. It is also the JOFO in the Ring podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this Thanksgiving special. I'm the devious one, Ivan C. I'm here with the other co-host and the host of their podcast. First, let me introduce the Rewind, Recap, Relive host of the show, Mr. Jonah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you, all of you, so much for having me here. There's so much talent in this room right now. I could just feel it. Yeah. Everyone's ready to go. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Definitely.
Love this suit. I love this suit, man. I feel like I should have just underdressed, man.
That is right. And
Nobody ever gets the memo wherever I go. It's weird. I'm always so formal.
Oh, man. Love it.
Definitely. And Jonah, ladies and gentlemen, is in Manhattan, New York. That's for this podcast. And don't forget, the subscription will be below over his YouTube channel link, where you can go ahead and follow him, subscribe, and make sure you tune all of exclusive interview content that he has. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, Jonah.
That's right. That's right. And also we have
really putting me over. Yeah,
definitely, brother. We're putting each other over no matter what, brother.
Absolutely.
And also we have from Harlem, New York, the two boys, my boys that I love very much. You know, we started off. We were the first ones to collaborate, and that is Brother Bowden, and Kofi Weedston. Exactly.
Got to give the people
big ol' hug right here.
That's right. You got to give the people what they want, and they do. And they do. They knock it out the park, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So make sure, and also you can find them on Last Out Media. You can find them on their social media platform. Also, the YouTube channel will be below as well. And we have our other brother from the United Kingdom, and that is the man himself, that 90s wrestling podcast host, Mr. James.
All right.
Hello.
He's all right.
Happy Thanksgiving from the UK. How you doing?
Yeah.
That's right.
Before, I said before, we don't do Thanksgiving over here, but I love turkey, so I'm all for it.
The accent makes me think you got something very, very important to tell me. It doesn't have to be anything. This sounds important.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can also, I'm going to put also as well Mr. James, the 90s podcast, below the link. Make sure you also follow him as well. He has also exclusive interview content he puts out. It's amazing what these individuals do, and you got to listen to it. He gives the people what they want as well.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
I try my best.
That is.
And also, our other brothers from, correct me if I'm wrong, I do apologize, from Quebec, right? Canada?
Quebec.
All right.
Montreal, Quebec.
Montreal, Quebec. We have two other brothers that we consider from another mother. We love them very much. Also, they provide the best content as well for you guys, and that is Mr. Kyle and Frank, JOFO in the Ring. How are you, gentlemen?
Those are cousins.
What's happening? No. Thanks for having us, guys. Thank you.
I love how pro this setup looks.
Here we go.
There you go.
Nice.
And there you have it. I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also joined by my other fellow co-host, MGC Matthew Steamboat, the one and only CK1 Chris Kennedy, and the great American hero that is Mike Lopez, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Dream.
There you go.
This is my gift to everybody, from the dragon's mouth to you.
Nice. Emerald Lagasse is leader of Retribution.
Oh, no, it's the Rap Monster and Emerald. Kind of split the role. But who do you like most? Rap Monster, Jimin, Suga, Emerald, you know? I don't know.
I'll be honest.
There's so much talent that. There's so much talent.
I think BTS should join Retribution. I think we need BTS in Retribution.
Oh, man.
There's already enough BDSM in Retribution. Look at those fucking outfits.
Right? Exactly.
Look, he's just pointing his thumb directly at, you know.
Yeah. Hey, guess which one has the hamster in him? Oh, yeah.
Oh my. Oh my.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to go ahead and thank every one of them. And this is a Thanksgiving special we put out for you guys, for you viewers, for you guys subscribe to our channels. We appreciate you very much. This is an appreciation day for all of you viewers. So now let us begin, because now they normally do the exclusive interview, you know, with all independent promotions or independent wrestlers. Now the tables turn. Now it is time for them to be asked the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with Cal and Frank, JOFO in the Ring. How did it all begin for JOFO in the Ring? How did it start? How did it begin?
Well, we have a show on Monday nights called JOFO Podcast. Very good friends of ours. We all live in the same building. So myself, Kyle's been a guest. I've been a guest on their show. And when we met, we figured out that we both like wrestling. So what we did, and I already wanted to start a wrestling podcast with our producer, Selecta Brew. So basically, it was a match made in heaven kind of thing. So when we started talking, it's like, wow, we got to put this on air, and our friends wanted to hear it. So a couple of our friends wanted to hear it. Then now a couple hundred people want to hear it. So it starts from the bottom. You know what I mean? You just got to, like everyone says, you got to start. Once you start, you just got to keep doing it. So, and then that's what we're doing. So,
awesome. And who came up with the name, the title name, JOFO in the Ring? How did that come?
JOFO.
That was but in the ring was.
In the ring is Selecta Brew, but with JOFO is more or less our brand, because we have, like I said, we have a second for our first podcast that was the original podcast, JOFO Podcast, which stands for Just Our Fucking Opinion.
I love it. I love that.
So basically, it's just your fucking opinion. So, and we brought it to the wrestling world, and it's working. And like I said, we're just rolling with it.
Unless it's about wrestling and it's coming from me, then it's fact.
Yeah. Miles our resident wrestling encyclopedia. So he's more of the fact check. The fact check.
Belt in the back is mine.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love the fact.
But
love that
I'm basically the Dean Ambrose of that title. I just never defend the fucking thing.
It got to be defended one day, man. It has to be defended.
If you don't defend it, you'll always be the champion.
Exactly.
That's smart. Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Longest reigning right there.
Yes, the longest reigning.
You have to beat me. I don't have to beat you.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. I love that. I love that fucking name. I love it, man. You guys knock it off, man. Seriously, knock it off the park.
Thank you very much.
I think that's dope.
Really, it is.
And to be honest, yo, I found JOFO just going through random podcasts or whatever one day on YouTube, and then what caught me was his intro. I was like,
Yo!
I love that intro. I love it, man. I love it.
It's, you know what? It's crazy. I've been doing that for maybe 15, 20 years, and it just made sense now that I'm doing a podcast. So I'm like, let me put it in the podcast. And people come up to me and are like, here we go. I'm like, okay,
I love it.
How are you?
Nice. That's awesome.
He also yells that when he comes. Too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Oh.
Kyle's a stand-up comedian as well. If you guys noticed too. He's in Montreal as well. So yeah. See or hear them. So that's a comedy flair too as well. So
that's awesome. I love it. I love it, man. I'm glad that we were able to collab and actually. I love your work. Honestly, I like how you're straightforward. You're straightforward with with all the people you have interviewed. You're actually straightforward, not to like try to kiss your ass or nothing. You tell them your fucking opinion. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. In the end, it is just anyone's opinion. In the end, when people ask you who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling, I'm like, but there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer, right?
Yep.
Right?
The people in our comments.
Yeah, it's all opinion. It's all opinion.
Let me tell you a quick story. I'm a man, and men, we don't like to ask other men stuff.
This is The Rock. I remember this.
I do not like to ask anybody anything. I'm like, yo, fuck it, I'll figure it out on my own. But I would see JOFO's intros every fucking day, and I'm like,
I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad you guys like it.
Yo, they are cousins, man. JOFO, look how our cousins.
I hit him in the inbox, and he told me how to do it. From there, I was like, yo, thank you, JOFO. He took us to the top, and I really appreciate you for that, man.
Hey, man.
Because some people wouldn't even answer. A lot of people wouldn't answer us in the inbox, or they won't give away their secrets on how they're editing their stuff. A lot of people won't do that. But JOFO, you did it. You helped us, bro, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe.
No problem, man. No problem, man. We have a great producer as well. His name is Bruno. His nickname is Selecta Brew. Here on JOFO in the Ring, we call him Le Pod the God.
No, he calls himself. He's the only one who calls himself.
Tonight doesn't show it, though. Tonight doesn't do any justice.
I'm calling you Le Pod God, bro.
Like you guys know, I'm sure you guys know a lot of the work is behind the scenes, and Bruno is a big part of the show, even though he's not on.
Shout out to Bruno, man. Shout out to
Bruno, man, because like I said, man,
the pod god Bruno.
Yeah,
he is. He's the pod god.
Well, he actually was on an episode recently in our trivia match episode. You can watch him beat Frank.
Oh, I got
spoiler alert!
Yeah. I have to see that.
Yeah. I wrote the question, so it was it's a good watch. It's fun.
That's awesome. All right, so let's go now. Let's go to our other brother. We'll go to our other brother from another mother, and that is Mr. Jonah. How did it begin with the Rewind, Recap, Relive? How did it all become in fruition?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan. First like all of us. Yeah, what's up?
First of all, Jonah, you are dressed to the nine. You look good. Look at you,
Thank
Jonah.
you.
You look good. Look,
I know, always. I have to keep up appearances. It's a curse and a blessing. If I ever go to an autograph signing now, I got to go in a tux. But, that's.
You look good, Jonah. You look good as fuck, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I've been a fan for a long time. I mean, since, all of us, I'm sure, our whole lives, we say, right? And yeah, when COVID happened, I just wanted to be able to still do something to interact with, because I think wrestling fans, I'm sure you'd agree, are the greatest fans in the world. So I wanted to do something to still interact in some way. And I had previous shows a long time ago when I was younger, but I never really stuck with them. And I think JOFO said it best, you just have to do something and really stick with it. And when you stick with it, you can cultivate an audience. That's what I've done so far, and I'm happy to see it grow. And I'm really happy that we're able to grow so big that we're able to do something like this now. I mean, this is amazing. And then, the goal of the show is to, we have a rising star on the independent scene, and then we have a legend or a veteran on. And the goal is to really somewhat inspire, have the rising star walk away with some sort of information that's useful to them for their career from the legend. And, sometimes it depends, of course, on the guest, but I'd say like so far 9 times out of 10, that's been the result. And the rising stars, they thank me. They walk away with something that they didn't have before the interview. And the end goal for it, or just like something I want to see happen, is for a legend and a rising star to meet up on a show somewhere, because that would be awesome. We've seen them. We've heard it. Like what is it? I think it was Eugene and the guy Mad Dog. They exchanged information afterwards, and they were talking about getting booked on each other's stuff, and it was amazing. So yeah, if I could see that happen, if I could see a match happen from the show, I mean, that'd be great. That would be the greatest.
That's awesome. That is
Fire.
awesome. One thing I give you a lot of credit is, you know, I believe you're the only one that does that. You know, that concept, how you explained it. A rising star from an
I've
independent
never heard
circuit
of that. Like,
and a legend. Exactly. Never.
I think that's fire.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I wanted something that was a little different when I was going to start it, because like when I was younger, I used to recap the shows, and I think that's awesome. But I just think there's so much of that, so I just kind of sat down and thought about it, like what would I want to watch? And I love seeing like I hate to call it obscure, but just like not mainstream independent wrestling. And so I was like, okay, I want to meet some of these people because I think they're doing some great things. And then of course interviewing some of the guys I grew up watching. I mean, that's just a dream come true. So combining that together is kind of how I came up with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And the tux is for like the retro feel, but I've learned that I've gotten guests as far back as like Jimmy
I love
Valiant.
yeah,
You like
super,
it?
It's super finky. I love it. It's super finky.
Thank you.
The thing is,
I'm about to
the
go
way
put
he's
on a
high,
suit jacket.
is he's got a suit. Beneath that waist, he's probably just got it in these underpants.
Don't expose me like that, James. Come on.
Oh, bro. The pipe bomb on the
SNL in
boxers.
And
The SNL in it right now.
all right, exactly.
Oh, Jonah.
So I want to ask, so how did the name come about? Rewind, recap, relive. How did
The name's a playoff. You got some of you guys probably get it. You remember Redesign? What was it? Redesign, Rebuild,
Redesign.
Reclaim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought of the name a long time ago, and he came up with that. I was like, what could 3 words be like that? And it's a little long, but I like it. And then we abbreviated to R3. You know, if anyone ever wants to say it and they're getting tongue twisted, but I kind of like the long name. Works good for the logo too. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, man. I love it. I love it because I feel that with that name itself, just the concept of what, like, how you're presenting it towards the viewers, especially having like, you know, it's like upcoming rising and the legend, it makes sense. It's like you're rewinding, you're recapping, and you're reliving it.
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah.
I
Put that on a
love
belt
it.
buckle.
Yep.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely. It'd look great on the front face of a belt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll redesign that when I win it from JOFO. That one.
Anytime. Not a spoiler. That's a prediction.
That's not a spoiler. That's a prediction.
Yeah.
There you go. There you have it. I love
Better
it,
bring
man.
your pants.
And now let's knock it out to our fellow brother from the United Kingdom, Mr. James. How did it all begin? How did it begin? That 90s wrestling podcast. How did it start?
One word: coronavirus.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
all.
Yeah.
Shout out to the coronavirus, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got in the second wind. It's definitely it's come back over here, and we're in the second lockdown now. So not too good for us. But yeah, basically same as Jonah. Been a fan of wrestling since I could walk, to my measure, since being 3 or 4 years old, and I've watched like loads of like say shoot interviews and all these YouTube videos and listened to the podcast and that, and something I've always wanted to do. And well, I tell you what it is. It's getting that. It's basically having the balls to actually do it. And I thought, fuck it, I'll try it. And eventually, well, to begin with, the name That 90s Wrestling Podcast, why I named it that, because originally I was reviewing 90s WWE pay-per-views, starting from Rumble 90. I was going to work my way all the way forward. And then, all of a sudden,
Yeah,
and then,
dope.
yeah, it's, well, we're actually bringing it back. I'm recording this Wednesday, so this Wednesday doing WrestleMania 7, which looking forward to do, because that's a good show.
I love
Yeah.
How rough is that going to get when you hit to like 95, though? And you got like a hockey player fighting a fucking baseball player.
Oh my god.
To be fair, the new generation era is a guilty pleasure for me. So I like
really?
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It all works out.
So, but yeah, and eventually, like I noticed, I thought I would like to get some guests, and started off a couple of guests, and I thought, oh, it's actually pretty good. And then all of a sudden, it started overtaking things. So I thought, from this point forward, I'd just try and get more guests. And I was debating whether to change the name, but I couldn't think of anything because everything was literally taken. So my brother, my younger brother, is a casual fan. When I was still back home before I got married, he used to watch it with me and that. But after I moved out and that, funny enough, he's actually watching AEW. He loves it, of all things. So he's actually back in with it. And he said to me, "Why don't you just call it Wrestle Talk?" I'm like, "You got no fucking idea, have you?" So I thought, but then a few people started recognizing the name a little bit, and I thought I might as well just keep the name. So what I do now, if there's a guest on, I'll just try and ask him some 90s-based questions, just to have a little bit of a theme with it. But yeah, really enjoying it, and it's great to know the fact that like there's people listening to it and seeing the numbers, like the subscribers just go up like a little bit by a little bit every day. It's really good, and being able to interview some of these people, I've enjoyed every interview I've done, but one of my personal favourites, because I'm from the UK, from England, was NWA champion Nick Aldis, and I watched him when he was in TNA Impact, when he was on Gladiators over here. And he lived like 40 or 50 miles down the road from me, so it was like literally no distance. And like I said, I've been a fan for him for many years, so the fact that I was able to get him on my show, and we chatted for about 2 hours, and I had so many more questions to ask him. I'm hoping to bring him back on, but it was such a great talk, and yeah, it was just after I interviewed him, I was like, wow, this is actually so good. And being able to get some other people coming on, and it's a little bit daunting to begin with. Every interview, I'm nervous as hell at the beginning, and you just gradually grow into it. Especially when that Amber Nova came on, because I'm looking at him like, whoa. So, by the way, Dirty Heels, Monica, I still need to sort you out for that competition, but at the end of the video, she actually gave you a shout out, so I'll make sure I clip that and give it to you.
It's no problem.
Thank you. Give you a shout out to you, James.
Man, James, I gotta say that you really pull it off, especially with these interviews. I did enjoy the interview. Almost everything. I mean, especially the Trevor Murdoch one that you did. With Nick Aldis, I enjoyed that one. Even you had British Bulldog's daughter. I mean, wow, you pulled it off.
She runs his official gram too, and kind of keeps up the memories for him.
Yeah, that's something we spoke about, and obviously, like I said, the UK guy, my two guys growing up was Davey Boy and Bret Hart. They was always my two guys, and we talked about that, and it was such great. And the one thing I do when it comes to interviews, I don't really pull any punches. So if there is some certain hard-hitting subjects, like I asked her about Owen Hart's passing, Montreal Screwjob, for example, and I'm like that with every interview. The Trevor Murdoch interview, like I asked him about Lance Cage, like what was it like when he passed away? So it's not like
James, you don't cut no corners, man. You don't cut.
Now I'm wondering if you asked her about Dynamite Kid too.
Wow.
When you hopefully if you get a chance to watch it, so yeah, she gives me a really good story in Dynamite, and I'll be honest, it got so emotional, I started tearing up a little bit. Because like I won't spoil too much, but like Dynamite and Bulldog never made peace. Bulldog and Dynamite, but he made the effort afterwards, and she does tell a really good story about visiting Dynamite. So when you get a chance, it's worth the listen when you get a chance. But yeah, that was a really good interview. I enjoyed it, and we've got a few more people coming on. I'm kind of just sorting the time and the date for him, but I'm getting the Pope on, Elijah Beck. So, that one.
Nice. You heard it here first.
Nice.
I am looking forward to that one. That one's going to be fucking awesome. So I'm looking forward to that one.
I can't wait. And also you do like top 25 rankings, top rankings when it comes to theme songs, like the Ruthless Aggression one you did. I enjoyed that one. I'm like, you knocked it up. You were right on point on every song. I'm like, he's fucking right. These are the ones that are like top 25. I love it.
And me and Jonah just collabed, and we'll get it out when we can. With obviously, you've heard the term like wrestling, like hot takes or say unpopular opinions. So me and Jonah last week we done a secret collaboration, so where we read out these people's wrestling hot takes. So that'll be out one day, and we had some pretty
hot take hotel,
views.
right, James?
Hot take hotel.
Wow.
So,
I love it. I can't wait to see it, man. I'm just like, wow, like all of you guys have been done phenomenal work that I admire all of you guys really a lot, and it's
Same here, man. We look up to y'all. Y'all don't even understand, man. Like, we look up to you guys so much, man. Like, we praise you guys, man. Trust me, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you.
All
And
around,
now-
yeah, respect.
The one and only, my brothers from another mother. That's the Kobe Weedston that gives the people what he wants. They want it. That's Brother Bovin. That's right.
Yes.
And tell our viewers how did it all begin with Dirty Heels.
I'm gonna start this off. It started. We were arguing about this the other day. I'm gonna give credit to my girlfriend. We argue about this every day. I'm gonna say my girlfriend started it.
Ooh.
All right.
She took she took me to my first indie show. I had never been to a wrestling show. I wasn't really into wrestling. Bove was, and we used to watch it every single day, every Monday, you know what I'm saying?
Faithfully.
And we would watch it. It was between that and battle rap because I was a big battle rap head. I still am.
King of
So,
the
like,
Dot.
See, you already know, man. So my girl, you know, she took us to a little show, and I saw Sunny Kiss. This is the first time I ever saw Sunny Kiss. It's like this was way before Sunny Kiss had a name.
Yeah.
And I kept telling him, I was like, "Yo, man, I saw this wrestler. You know, there was the best person there." And I kept telling him for about 6-7 months. We would order tickets, but stuff would happen. Like, you know, people would pass away. So with funerals, blah, blah, blah. But then one day we just went to an event, and little by little, all we had was jackets. We had Dirty Hill jackets.
No, only we had T-shirts. We had T-shirts.
You want to take the rest of T-shirts? Take the rest of the story?
Started with T-shirts.
We had T-shirts. We weren't in a podcast or anything. So, like, we would just go to wrestling events with our T-shirts and our jackets. One night, we needed to get in to an event not too far from our house. It was the Lucha Bros are fighting, and we really wanted to get in.
Nice, yeah.
But I mean, we really wanted to get. We stayed on our line for a long time, and mind you, it was nothing but Mexicans on that line.
They was like, "Yo, what y'all doing here?" I said, "Yo, we came to see wrestling." And he was like, "Why you the only black guys on the line?" We like, "Yo,
yeah, we the only black guys in the whole place." Turns out the event was $60 a person. And we didn't have enough money. So what I did was we stood outside, and I said, "Yo, we gonna get in, bro." I had already told him before we left the house. I said, "Yo, we're gonna get in, bro." I said, "I'm not leaving, bro." So
he's our Jimmy Hart. He's the mouth of the South. Come on, baby, yeah.
So a promoter came out, and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? We're a podcast." And at that time, all we had were Dirty Hill jackets. I didn't even tell him what I was doing. I just went over there, told him the podcast, blah, blah, blah. The guy found out. He was like, "Oh, okay. You want to review the event? All right, you could get in." So we waited like 20 minutes. Another promoter comes out. We talk to him. He's like, "Yo, wait here." We get in the event. This is real talk. We get in the event. We have a great time.
Great time.
The next morning, I call him. And I say, "Yo, bro, you know we have a podcast now." He's like, "Yo, what
I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What? We have what?"
I say, "Yo, I told him we got a podcast." He said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I told him we a wrestling podcast. That's how we got into the event." He said, "I said, yo, you gotta make the Instagram now." So he was showing Instagram, and you know we were doing pretty good with the Instagram. And like I said, my girlfriend, I told her I wanted to do it, and she went out and bought the equipment for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
And long story, after that we just kept pushing the best way.
Real sponsor.
That's the founder. That's the CEO and founder of Dirty Heels. Huh?
He's the real sponsor.
She's your Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's your Brandy Rhodes right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shout her out from time to time. We call her our sponsor. We don't say her name too much though. the Dirty Hills name, you know, that was good, brother. We had the Dirty Hills name for a while. We just was calling ourselves the Dirty Hills. We were just doing it, you know. Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, you know, and we were just calling ourselves that, you know, running our block, running around with the belts. We had our own belts and stuff. You know, it was just basic stuff for us. You know, just going to events. Everybody knew that we like wrestling, so we just called ourselves the Dirty Hills.
You see?
I love it. I love it. Man.
Dirty
Yep,
is.
What is this title versus title? Or we're gonna see that match one. Yo, Kyle, where you at?
Okay, yeah.
Kyle, you got to defend the belt.
No,
wait.
Let's
Take
not
it
just-
away.
We got
Hold
another.
Player 3 has joined the game.
That's right. Triple threat match. Winner takes all in a ladder match.
No, Mike's not here.
TLC.
PLC. Winner takes all. Might as well.
Let's go.
I love it, man. I enjoy it a lot. One thing I would like. Wait. What do you got?
Here we go.
Oh. Okay.
Frank,
all
you
right.
need a belt.
Fatal 4-way
Universal
now.
champion.
Fatal 4-way.
I usually just keep on in the bag.
It's the championship edition. Championship edition.
Yeah, I feel like I'm auditioning for Flex magazine.
I love it. Brothers, of the fact that how you guys pulled it off and then knocking it right up the park. I like the concept, how you guys have it set up. The setup is fucking amazing. How you guys have it in the background and overall. And I love the effects. And also I love the fact that you reminisce a lot of the old times that you bring back, especially a lot of the ECW era back in the days, the Lucha Underground back in the days.
Thank you, man.
You guys go back to that history and, reminiscing and giving the viewers, reminiscing of, oh, that's what happened. Okay, it's fucking awesome work, man.
Honestly, before the whole Corona started, we were more of an independent. We just interviewed independent indie wrestlers because we had so much access to the indie wrestlers right here in New York. We would just do them, but then Corona hit and everything, so we had to figure things out when Corona hit.
And Corona helped us. If it wasn't for Corona, and be like.
I'll be honest. Yeah, Corona helped us a whole lot. People had to stay in and watch something.
Yeah.
Man, I love the fact that you guys also do that as well, and interviewing in the independent pro wrestlers in the independent scene in the East Coast as well. We're doing it here in SoCal as well. So now, because I can tell you how Circle of Debate came about.
Yeah,
let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
All right.
What we've been waiting for.
All right.
The juice.
The juice. So Circle of Debate came about. Been having this idea for the last 3 years. It's just knowing the right time and the right, place to do it. Mike and myself, we've known each other for over 10 years. I always mention it to Mike that I've been wanting to do a pro wrestling podcast. There's never been like in SoCal. There were SoCal Uncensored and other podcasts.
Inside baseball, real quick. The team from AEW SoCal Uncensored is named after the premier underground SoCal independent message board that goes back 22 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically,
yeah.
It's basically just it's a message board run. It was started by Mr. Hill. I forget his real name, but he was by Mr. Hill and someone else. And it was just the dirt sheets, but for SoCal indie wrestling. And it was before Google, so you had to like type in the
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So when I saw that team debut on AEW, I was like, "Oh shit!" I used to train with Scorpion Sky back when he was $150 and like 13 years old.
Wow.
And now there's this tag team named after literally my backyard's message board, and that is just a crazy journey to see something go from just so obscure. Literally started in like 1999. Now 2020, Scorpion Sky's beating like Jericho, and that tag team's got the belts. It's pretty crazy.
But yeah, bro, like that's how I began. I just began. So Mike and I were always talking about with the pro wrestling podcast. He said, "Well, what are you gonna name it?" I'm like, "I don't know. I have no idea yet. I just couldn't figure out a name. I was looking through all the names, searching. Yeah, like I had ideas what to name it. I was gonna call it keep it 100 pro wrestling, podcast. I was gonna call it like that. Keep it 100.
Keep it 100.
Keep it 100. I was gonna do that, right?
That's super hip.
I'm from the South, I'm born and raised South Central, so I'm hood, I'm hood. I'm hood as well, but
this is for my razas.
For la raza ese, that's right. And so from there on, because I work at a bar, by the way. I worked at a Brass Monkey, which is a karaoke bar I worked at. And a lot of the indies will go there. Like Ray Rosas has gone there before plenty of times. So that's how I knew Ray. And also I've been going a lot to the independent circuit. I started going to PWG before Excalibur went to AEW. I've been going to PWG, and from there when Joey Ryan had Bar Wrestling. I love those shows, Maverick Pro Wrestling up in Glendale. So I've been going to a lot of the independencies, and I was making my name, myself recognized, and everybody was wow. And I told Ray Rosas one that told him, I'm going to interview you one day when I have the podcast. And so then how it began, I talked to, he's not here with us. His name is Josh. He's up in North Carolina. Talking to him through Twitter. We talked hours. And next thing you know, I told him, you want to do a podcast? He's like, sure, why not? Okay. Mike as well, the Dream. Mike been waiting for
Shout out to the Dream.
I told Mike
all day.
I told Mike, I'm ready to do this podcast. He's okay. Did you figure out the name yet? I'm like, yeah, I did figure it out. So the name how Circle Debate came was one. I wanted it to be different. And not only that, but it came about watching a Royal Rumble match, and and I'm right here with my buddies. We're getting drunk watching the Royal Rumble. We're just like going back and forth, talking shit to each other. And it just came in my head. I'm like, this is like a Circle Debate that we're having.
Circle Debate, yeah.
And boom, it just happened. Oh, I got it. Circle Debate. I messaged Mike the next day. I already got the name, Circle Debate. Okay, perfect. And from there on, from there on,
drinks on Ivan after the show. Drinks on Ivan, man.
Oh yeah, you got it. The drinks are right here, baby. The drinks are right here, baby. That's right. Except for carbonation Capron over there, Matt was his carbonation soda. But then we did a first episode. We did it in May 6th. First episode we did it. It was a lot of views because nobody knew that we're doing a podcast. All our buddies was like, "Oh my God, you guys actually doing a podcast?" They got interested. Everything just happened in fruition. And it was three of us. The original was three: myself, Mike, and Josh, who's not here with us. After that, the fourth member came, and that's the Dragon himself. Mike introduced me to Matt.
Right, Dragon.
Matt.
It's really through music. It's really through music kind of how I know Mike. I've known Mike maybe it's been like 8 years now. And
yeah, time flies.
Yeah, and I used to see Mike used to play in this thrash metal band that I was a big fan of. They were really popular. And when they broke up, I was talking to Mike about managing my band for a little bit because he had so much experience talking to promoters. Ivan's a drummer too, by the way, and he's also a really good musician. In fact, all four of us on Circle of Debate, all four of us are musicians. And,
oh wow!
All right.
Secret talents. Secret talent.
Yeah, a lot of talent.
Shout out to Josh. He's probably one of the best audience members. He's got love for my music. I don't know if Josh plays anything, but man, he could probably sing. I'll give him the microphone one of these days. But after Double or Nothing, I had so much energy. I felt like the wrestling's renaissance began the day of Double or Nothing. The renaissance started,
I agree.
And I was like, I've been wanting to do a podcast since then. And then Mike let me know about this. Oh yeah, do you want to be on for the top 5 female wrestlers? Like, okay, I'll do it. And then I've stayed ever since then. Josh, we miss you. We want you back.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
You will be back. And then, we've had a few guests. Chris, I brought on. I've known him for, I guess, a decade. I also knew him through music, and I was a big fan of his band. I put him in a band with some people a while back. And Chris,
why you need a promoter? You're a promoter yourself. Yeah. You're an agent automatically.
An agent for sure.
Yeah, commissioner, band member, commissioner. But Chris, he could, and Chris has a background in wrestling. I knew he was a wrestling fan, but I didn't know he was a wrestler before. And Chris, how I contacted you.
Yeah, and then so after that, that's when Matt introduced me to Chris. Chris and we knocked it off the park. Love the guys, like my brother, and shit. And then from there it started. Now it's 5 of us, but one of us is missing. But You know,
I've never even had a conversation with Josh. I've done like 35 podcasts with y'all.
You haven't met him yet, but you will.
All right.
But definitely, what I wanted to do is one, expose the SoCal independent scene. That's the number one thing I wanted to do. And once I got to Ray Roses, I told him, "What did I tell you, bro? I was gonna do a podcast," and he was my first one that I interviewed. And he
That's
loved
awesome.
it. He loved
Full
it.
circle, yeah.
He loved it, man.
That's dope.
And it's funny because I was this close to getting Peter, but Peter was fully signed.
Peter Avalon would have been
Peter
nice.
Avalon was because I know them personally, like not like deep, but they know I'm a fan of their work when they're PP Ray.
Yeah,
you know, the tag team here at SoCal. So, you know, they both invited me up to Port Hueneme to go train. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing the ring thing, guys. I did it once. I did it once in the backyard. Mike would tell you, Mike and I, we did backyard wrestling.
Just put through a table.
I was put through the table, bro. I got power drive through the table.
Man.
Yeah, that was horrible. And I almost, but it almost broke my neck. But yeah, but definitely from there, I want to do more distribution for the independent circuit, like how all of you guys are doing as well. And I believe that we were all doing a phenomenal job doing that, exposing indie talents, and they're getting known. And one day they're gonna obviously they do thank us that we're putting them out there, because one, they're self-independent contractors. That's the number one key thing. Two is they need exposure, and that's what we're all doing. We're exposing all these great talents that has never been exposed before, internationally or worldwide. You know, it's just, I love the fact that we're all doing it.
And it's even harder now because so many of them are not able to find work because of the the global. Their outlet right now.
Anything helps.
Yeah, precisely. Like Ivan was saying off air earlier about Nico, who he interviewed a couple weeks back. Off the strength of the podcast with Ivan, booked a second podcast already.
But my brothers, that's right. You guys interviewed Nico, right? The Italian wrestler?
Tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
to see our reach go from our bedrooms in Hollywood over here to all the way out to Italy, to having you guys come in. We've had a promoter from Florida on. We just had the associate producer for The Wrestler, Evan Ginsberg, up in New York, come on.
Wow.
So we are definitely trying to branch out from just the SoCal indie scene. It's literally our backyard. We were raised in it. We support it. But if we can get other communities in on this, like you guys, then it's gonna be better for the.
That's how we are. Yeah, that's how we are.
Yeah, definitely, because it's we're help. We love wrestling, and I love to see great hidden talents, and that need to be exposed. Why not? Like how I told Ray, I consider Ray Roses as SoCal pro wrestling icon. He hates when I say it, but for me, because I love it. I love his work, and he's a great storyteller in the ring. When it was, him and Peter or him by himself.
Let's get Peter in Inner Circle. Can we start that? Like, Peter in the circle.
We'll try to get him in a circle. The other person I want to thank too that is giving us the support as well, and that is Mr. David Marquez. He's the owner and founder of United Wrestling Network, owner of NWA, and owner of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. When Mike and I interviewed him, he really broke down everything about pro wrestling, and it made me fall in love again. Like I am in love, but more now. Yeah. And this guy actually he brought pro wrestling back to SoCal, and which I'm happy about. And that's what I'm telling you. Like what we're doing is helping these promotions, these talents to be up there, to be exposed, and I hope we still continue it on. And I just can't wait for what the future holds for all of us.
Can I ask a question? To everybody?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, we all the podcasters. What's how should I put it? How much fun have you had so far? Like, what's the, what I mean? How much fun has it been?
Fun.
It's a blast.
It's awesome.
Incredible.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's work. Yeah.
We didn't know, but it's work, man. It's work.
I will say that as a musician, and like how Matt said, I have had my experiences on stage and whatnot. this is kind of a different form of entertainment. You know, you're entertaining your audience, and you know, I like the guys know I will sometimes bring out a belt and say things like, "Oh, I'm the champ," and this and that, and you know, you kind of keep the people entertained and whatnot. So, you know, and like last time for the Halloween episode, I showed up as Hulk Hogan, but then midway I transformed into
Fiend.
Yeah. So I always like to do things, you know, a little bit different too. So
exactly, and we did it. We did it for you guys, the viewers. We're like, it's Halloween special. Might as well everybody get dressed up, and that's what. Oh yeah, I had to be the macho. I had to be the savage. I had to be
Painmaker.
And then you had the Painmaker, and then you had Jeff Hardy and Al Snow.
So what's been the best part about podcasting so far?
There you go. Take it away.
Me. Yeah. Who wants to say?
Go ahead.
I mean, it's for all you guys.
Yeah. I was going to say, just
screw it. I'm not
meeting with these people.
2 weeks ago, I did maybe 7 podcasts for Circle of Debate in a week.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. Besides being just physically and mentally exhausted, I was still hungry for more. I've wanted to do a podcast, but I was obviously lazy enough to have not done it till I was invited onto this. And now that I have a home and a family, and so many ideas for it, it is it's one of the best things I've done for quarantine. Like, there's a lot of self-improvement I'm going through right now that has made 2020 not as bad as it is for a lot of people. And this was the surprise hit of the summer for me. It's definitely, it came at the right time with the right people, with the right concept. We're branching out from just pro wrestling. I've done a music interview. We have a pro boxer coming in. We've had a movie producer. Next month, I'm doing a tattoo session where I interview my tattoo artist while I'm getting tattooed.
Yo,
add some unique stuff. Yeah. Wow.
So I am equally terrified and excited for that one. So, it's gonna be in real time.
So as you can see, the logo is culture. You know, so it's pro wrestling and culture and sports, everything overall. Because I don't just want to stick to only pro wrestling. I want to also.
I think we're gonna get a chef. We might get a chef pretty soon too.
We might get a chef pretty soon. And just to give a spoiler right now, since everybody will give spoilers, we are interviewing Danny Limelight coming up.
Ooh.
Yes. Is that the boxers that I talked about?
No, that's the Puerto Rican. That's the Puerto Rican Reaper. That's the one that Cal and Frank interviewed. So I got him next.
DIRTYHEELZ as well. Yeah, DIRTYHEELZ as well.
And you guys got him too. As well.
DIRTYHEELZ. You guys got Pablo Esco as well, or I saw that too.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I don't interview anyone.
Okay.
I don't do it.
It's fun, man. It's so fun. I have no experience doing it. My first interview was me being interviewed by the Circle of Debate as a former indie star, and I haven't been interviewed in 20 years.
Yeah.
Which I have an interview on SoCal Uncensored. I was the original Guyanero, who was also played by Scorpion Sky at some point. Ray Rosas also played him. But then Ray Rosas was the first person I've ever interviewed in my life, and it just came naturally, but it was exciting as well. So I don't know if you're shy or lack confidence.
Yeah, you do.
Just do it. Man.
I think getting that natural reaction between, like, you know, watching the episodes of Dynamite and then right away, you know, seeing how we feel about them. Because, like, me and Chris have been like, all right, that episode of Dynamite, all right, let's give our feelings right away. And, you know, or watching the G1 climax, me and Ivan, and just giving our feelings on it, like, right away when that was going down. Because before, like, last year, the only New Japan coverage that I listened to regularly was the Super J cast. And, you know, I don't agree with, like, all their views. And I was like, man, I kind of want to give my points of view. Like, show – because they shit all over Jay White, the Switchblade, and I want to show my love for Jay White. Like, that's the main reason I wanted to do podcasting. I wanted to be like, talk about how much I love Jay White.
All right. Or you want to get married to Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I want to get
we have the book of Michael.
All right.
So let's hand of marriage.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's do some talking shop. Let's start it off. All right.
I love it.
So who is your favorite pro wrestler? And so I'm gonna ask Mr. Jonah, who's your favorite right now?
It's tough.
And why?
And why?
Are you gonna make it harder?
Yeah,
Okay,
do you mean like
yes.
right now, like currently active right now, or like number one all time? Because that's two different.
Yeah, I want to know.
Those are two
I
different.
want to know all the above, all of them.
All right. If I had to pick active right now, who keeps me glued the most, it'd be AJ Styles. Like that.
You
guy.
got it, Jonah. Fucking got it.
Styles. I just think he's such like a. I think he's such like a multifaceted performer. Like he can keep me glued whatever he does, whether it's on the mic or in the ring. And I think he's a combination of like a lot of the style you see in AEW, which is like the quick strike combination sequences. Like he's a good combination of that with grappling too. That's what I think of Styles, and also just like high flying offense. Like everything about Styles to me just says like, okay, he's going to keep me captivated all time. And it's a little tough to say Styles too, because all time my favorite is Jeff Hardy. Like hands down. Like he's been such an inspiration even since he was the first guy I saw when I was like flipping through the channels was Jeff. And then it was Undertaker. So those have been my guys.
Unintended, he was also flipping through the channels.
Yeah, he was. Right. But yeah, and like Jeff's just so I had this cool moment at WrestleMania, the last one in MetLife before this past WrestleMania, which was, what it was. But
crap.
So I took my girlfriend. It was like an 8 a.m. meet and greet at MetLife Stadium the day before WrestleMania, and she painted my face like one of Jeff's, and he liked it so much that like he came and he stopped. He was probably high, but he stopped and he looked. I can confirm that. I can confirm that assumption because he looked at me, and I have the video, and he like puts his hands up. You know how he draws the face on the side of his face with the face paint? Yeah. His hands up, and he's like, there's a person inside there somewhere. And I was just like, yeah, you're right. And
was he trying to be philosophical or literal?
One or the other. I don't know, but it was for 8 a.m. I wasn't thinking philosophical myself. But Jeff always is.
Jeff was coming down off something.
Yeah. He like gave me a hug, signed a shirt, and then on top of all that, like WWE thought it was cool, so they put it up on like their social media and stuff. So that was like my coolest moment, and with my favorite wrestler. But so it'd be Jeff, and then I do like what Jeff's still doing, but obviously he can't last forever. And neither can Styles, but Styles is
better than Jeff. I'll tell you that.
Good. Yeah. So, those are my two.
Awesome, I love it. I mean, but Styles one thing for sure for his age, he can do whatever he wants. He's able to
absolutely.
He can still go. He can still go. He doesn't have to do any high flying aerobatic moves. He doesn't have to. He's telling a story in the ring, and that's what I love about it.
Very true.
He just gets it. Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
You could tell. Like you could tell a smart performer from somebody who's just like I don't know what the opposite would be, but just like a meathead or someone who's just there to get paid or whatever. Styles, you can tell he gets it, and of course that's nothing new, but still, it's great to watch.
And he's great at being a smarmy heel. Like you just want to backhand him.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. James, what about you? Who's your all time and your current?
Current, Drew McIntyre probably. I love my UK guys. What can I say? I'm biased as fuck. Yeah, we had Sheamus, but Sheamus is Irish. It doesn't count. They were the Finn Balor, even though for some reason everyone in America thinks Ireland's part of the UK. I'm like, no. But yeah, Drew McIntyre. I loved McIntyre's first run, and he had that fucking badass theme, Broken Dreams, which I would.
You didn't say the bastard.
Oh, Chosen One. I was all on that, man. Okay. And his theme song, Broken Dreams.
I love that theme song, by the way.
Me too, yeah.
Hey, free MB. Let's bring it back, free MB. But yeah, McIntyre, so like obviously left, went to Impact, done really well over there, worked on, came back to the UK, worked the indie scenes, basically put on about 40 pounds of muscle as well. I think that helped things.
Absolutely.
He's got an amazing look.
Yeah.
And it really makes me believe.
He's just a different animal. And like to see, like obviously one of my other favorites is Nick Aldis, which, like I said earlier, pleasure like interviewing him. So
got you, man.
He was obviously the first But yeah, the first English-born like champion on the mainstream, like an Impact, but like obviously we still was waiting for that UK WWE champion, and when McIntyre finally done it at WrestleMania, which unfortunately, you know, he's been a champion probably in one of the worst periods with the pandemic era, which he's not going to be back to the mid card. He's like established as a main eventer now, and hopefully when the fans come back, it'll be nice to see what the reaction will be when he's a champion in front of the fans. So hopefully that'll happen. But yeah, McIntyre's my guy. All time, kind of same with Jonah. Love Jeff Hardy. He's always been my guy. I would say he's my number 2 of all time, but my number 1 is Bret Hart. Excellence of execution.
That's right.
So, you know what I mean?
Our Prime Minister.
I became a
That's right. I love it. Man. I love it.
The reason I became a fan was because my father was a fan, and I was like 3 or 4 years old, and he had some like videotapes lying in the cupboard, and I found like Royal Rumble '91, and then I found some other tapes and just fell in love with Bret Hart. That must have been the pink. But when you go back and watch his old matches, and like there was a segment that it was in Survivor Series 90, and it came down to like him and Ted DiBiase, and they wrestled for like 5 minutes, and it was probably some of the best 5 minutes I've ever seen in wrestling. And you go back and you watch these old matches, him, Mr. Perfect, and that, you forget how good they really was. It wasn't just like the character of elaborated characters. The amount of wrestling they could actually do. So, yeah, current Drew McIntyre, all time. Bret Hart, followed closely by Jeff.
I just watched Survivor Series '92. The main event was Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels for the belt.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
Fantastic. Like we were spoiled back then.
We were spoiled.
Yeah, we were definitely spoiled.
We didn't know we were spoiled.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And here's my announcement. Bret Hart's coming on my show.
Oh!
Congratulations, man.
Wow.
Congratulations.
How are you going to do that?
Send them our way when you're done.
Yeah, send them our way. Send them our way.
Took us up and down with that one.
Wow.
Yoda,
right now,
wish.
Bret Hart's the Yoda of Canadian wrestling.
Yeah.
That was good.
Overall,
Yoda doesn't complain as much.
I wish he was coming on my show. I was going to do a video, you know. I was going to say John Cena's coming onto the show, and I was just going to have myself in a blank screen. I can't see him. I was going to do that, but I can imagine the amount of dislikes I would get from it.
I love it, man. I love it. Kyle, Frank, what about you guys? Who's your
first?
We're Canadian. Well, we're both Canadian, but obviously, but it comes down to we come from the Montreal Screwjob. We're right here, and honestly, when that happened, Bret Hart was always close to my heart. And to see that and not know what was really going on really pushed me towards Bret Hart, and I kind of lost it when he went to WCW with that little run he had, but.
Oh yeah,
probably for me all time, Bret Hart. I'm gonna say who I hate the most.
I want to hear this,
and I know Dirty Heels knows this. I honestly love him as a wrestler, but I just hate Cody Rhodes. I just hate him.
What?
I just hate him.
Jeff Jarrett of AEW.
Shawn Michaels.
Too sweet for a JOFO.
He's the Jeff Jarrett of AEW.
Yeah. A lot of people made that comparison.
Going on now, so I'm gonna but favorite right now. I would have to go with Le Champion, Chris Jericho. He's revolutionized since day one till now, and he's always keeping relevant. And you could see him like obviously everybody sees him now in the inner circle in AEW. Like the guy's never gonna die. You know, he's always gonna be relevant, and he always keeps me laughing. Always keeps me interested to watch. And that's it for me.
Yeah. Favorite of all time, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I have to. I know. I grew up like watching Hogan and all them, but when Austin came around, he was the man.
Yeah.
He still is.
Yeah.
Greatest of all time, in my opinion. Hence the name of the show, right? Right now, I gotta say Roman Reigns.
I get it.
I agree with him.
And I'm gonna.
But I understand.
Here's why. He is making the Universal title special. He's doing what Lesnar did on a weekly basis as opposed to month.
At least.
Like, he shows up, he doesn't have to do anything, and then when he does do something, it's huge.
It's true. Okay.
Yeah.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kyle. You on my bad side.
Me too, man.
I think it's a brave thing they're doing. It is a brave storyline they're taking with Reigns being.
But that's why it makes me feel, in my opinion, like that's why it makes me feel because they're taking that risk, like they're finally letting him branch off and be himself.
Finally, right?
Yeah, but they should have taken that risk a long time ago, though.
Exactly.
But that should have happened already because Vince was trying to push us, the fans, like, here, love him, damn it.
Yeah.
No, I'm like, I ain't gonna love this guy.
No, they're doing with Roman what they should have done with Cena.
Yes, agreed, 100%. Absolutely.
Well, it's easier to do whatever they want now because they can control, obviously, the reaction, which I think is kind of cheating your character development.
Yeah.
Because if you want to boo or cheer Roman Reigns, you don't have a say in the matter because we know they're pumping in the cheers and the boos into their stadium.
Yeah.
You know, the hive mind.
It's going to be very interesting when the fans do come back to see what reactions these wrestlers get now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was going to bring this up with that 90 show is if you thought Drew McIntyre's title reign would have happened with a fan base in the studio or in the arena, or if it's just like a quarantine favor. Like
I think it was meant to happen.
Yeah, I do as well. But
well, he had that big pop at the Royal Rumble, right? So
that was huge.
It was
that was great.
I don't remember the last time there was a pop like that for somebody eliminating somebody. You know,
and especially Roman Reigns.
We didn't know he was going to win.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the good thing is about him being a heel, and when they do have fans back in, whether you don't like him as a heel or just as a person, you're still going to boo him. He's a heel. You got to boo him.
That's the magic of it. That's the magic.
Exactly.
For sure.
So they fucking
Yeah, they did. they
all right,
did.
Kyle, you back on my good side,
Vince
Kyle.
McMahon is insane, but he knows what he's doing. Sometimes.
Well, he's losing his touch. My opinion.
Debatable.
That's very debatable right there. That's a debate we can have. But
I mean, there's a reason he was a billionaire and still pretty
I
close
said that.
to it.
I said
JOFO,
that
I'm with you.
There's a reason Vince was the first billionaire in sports, whether or not it's sports became or not.
Yeah.
Like he beat Cuban, obviously. Like it's just like that's insane. Like to just do that.
I mean, who starts a football league twice?
Failed.
Who loses the football league twice?
We went there.
Too soon.
Oh man.
Too soon.
Nothing else need to be said.
Wow.
Coffin.
All right, Dirty Heels, take it away. Kofi, what do you got for us? Who's your favorite?
I think my favorite of all time, I'm going to probably say Chris Jericho.
Oh.
I probably got to go Chris Jericho, man.
It's
tough between him and Stone Cold, but I still got to go Chris Jericho because he's still wrestling now. So, and the antics, I love to laugh on comedians. I'm not a comedian, but I like to fucking joke. And so, you know, I like to laugh. And so I'm more of a Chris Jericho fan. I would say he's probably my number one of all time. My favorite wrestler right now, I really don't have a favorite wrestler right now. You know, wrestling pisses me off from time to time, so I cut it off.
Don't say Cody Rhodes. Don't say Cody Rhodes.
Say Cody Rhodes. Just say it.
There's more than one.
I don't like Cody Rhodes. I don't like Cody Rhodes. I can't say that. I don't. I would say Kofi Kingston is probably one of my favorite right now.
Yeah.
You can't do no Kofi Kingston. You can't do no wrong in my eyes. I don't care what happens. I'm a fucking New Day fan. That's it.
Yeah, perfect, man.
Amen.
He is the shit.
Amen to that. Brother Bobin, what do you got for us?
And I'm a fan of Xavier Woods' independent videos. So.
Oh my god!
We don't go off camera ourselves.
How do you feel about it?
Oh man, fellas, I'm a big Minoru Suzuki fan. I'm a big Minoru. That nigga, he's bad. He's bad to the bone. You feel me? I'm a big fan of him. AJ Styles, of course, and the Black Heart, Owen Hart. Those are my three.
I love it.
Nothing against Bret, fellas. Nothing against Bret.
Canadian boy.
I agree with it. It's a good choice.
Really good choice. Owen was magical, man. You know, even when he was the Blue Blazer, he was magical. So it didn't matter what role he played, from the nation to beef with his family. He was magical, man, and that's somebody I'm gonna love forever, man. You know?
Going.
He had a good match with Mr. Perfect as the Blue Blazer.
He did.
Yes, he did. 5? Yeah.
I have one more mention. Can I mention Kurt?
Go ahead. Okay.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle. Yes.
Yo, Kurt Angle. I would have loved to see Bret and Kurt go at it one time. Love to see that. I would have loved to see it. Kurt was
that would be nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a dream match that everybody would like to have.
I can see Kurt.
As wrestling fans, we win. As wrestling fans, we win. Y'all know that.
At least we got Kurt Angle and HBK though.
That was awesome.
Right, WrestleMania 21. Yeah.
Oh, favorite match of all time, 100%.
It was kind of late, but yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. You know,
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite of all time, it is Bret Hart for me. Bret Hart always. Will be the great technician in the ring. Never hurt anybody at all. He gives
That's a great point. Holy shit! I didn't even consider.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
He has not hurt anybody.
He's
never hurt anybody. Even Taker will tell you, from Nash, Taker, everybody, all their interviews, they said Bret puts people over and he makes them look like freaking high flyers or like technicians. Nash was never a technician. Undertaker wasn't a technician, but man, Bret Hart made him to his level. Like regardless of your height, I'm gonna make you look little to me.
What he did to Austin at WrestleMania 97, glorious.
Yeah.
Like the fact that was his idea, not really his idea, but he worked with that idea and pulled that double switch off to a T.
The man's a genius, and the man has the IQ in and out of the ring. That's why he's like one of my top favorites. And God, I would like to see Bret Hart and Kurt Angle. Who wouldn't want to see that match? I would like to see that.
Right now, man.
There's so many. Either Bret or AJ. I would like to see Bret AJ Styles. Why not?
Oh my God, Bret and AJ.
Shawn and AJ.
That would be
Shawn and AJ. Do you think that's happening? Do you think that's going to happen?
I wish that would have happened.
I don't see Shawn and AJ. It should have happened.
It should have,
But
that should have been a comeback instead of that DX fiasco.
Oh my God!
I think I mentioned it before, but there's only one man that is able to make HBK versus Styles, and that's the Prince of Saudi Arabia. Make it happen.
Oh, that's right.
You're right.
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
Give us
no
one
more
more.
crown jewels, man. No more crown jewels.
Current wrestler, as of right now, I love AJ. I love AJ's work in the ring, and I followed his career from starting in WCW for a minor bit to TNA. I think I didn't mention one of my favorite matches from AJ was that triple threat match. TNA, where it was him, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels.
Oh wow!
Oh my God, they pulled it off.
Yeah.
That was an awesome triple threat, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's if correct me if I'm wrong, this is my opinion. I feel because of that happening, that's why WWE started deciding to, all right, let's do the cruiserweights now, because the X division at that time was hot. Nobody else had, and nobody had that division. And WWE was like, they had all their big guys, and but we got bored. And I'm like, okay, let's bring it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They had like Paul London and everybody, but they just didn't use them right.
Exactly.
Right.
Even with Billy Kidman the same.
Oh, Kidman was fantastic.
Helms was still there, right? Wasn't Shane Helms?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh man, definitely. I mean,
they had all the cruiserweights from WCW there with all the WWE guys, and it was perfect. It was wasted.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Angle.
I mean, I would have loved to see Kidman was another one that I would have loved to see him as a champion. At least, if not a main champion, at least a mid card champion, Intercontinental or US. Besides the cruiserweight, because when he was already, becoming a heel, becoming that wannabe, like kind of like Nature Boy style with this, with the jacket coming out.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? Like, he had the persona, and
I'm the only fan of Kidman in the Flock. Like that was
with the 7-year itch.
Yeah. That was when he was my favorite wrestler of all time.
I did like Kidman then. I did like Billy Kidman then too.
He was fun.
When no one heard of him, he was like the little rascal of the Flock.
Yeah, I did like
Ray Mysterio. Filthy animals.
Exactly. He had that sweet move I'd never seen before because I'm 9, but I was still impressed. But
for a while.
He got himself that much over. He married Tori Wilson, so think about
It's true, but
yo, good shit.
He went from like everybody's 4th favorite guy in the Flock to Tori Wilson's husband.
Crashing a boat, right? Didn't he like hit his boat? Something like that. Yeah.
See, Kidman's kind of like Triple H if you marry the right person.
I need to get him on my show. I really do. I'm just gonna ask him, how did you get Tori?
He was like the 4th best guy in the clique, but he married the right girl.
that's true, right?
Yeah. He got Playboy money now.
Yeah.
Got Playboy money, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Mr. Hero. Tell him your favorite.
Well, of course, it's true. It's damn true.
Wow,
Your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, is my favorite wrestler of all time. But currently,
good shit.
Currently, I'm a big fan of this man right here.
Ooh, look at that!
Wow. Wowie, the Fiend. So I always find his segments entertaining. When he came out at SummerSlam against Finn Balor, man, that was an experience right there. I haven't seen an entrance like that. Even Johnny Gargano was, he had his mouth open like watch the footage. Oh yeah, so the Fiend right now.
Go ahead, Mr. Steamboat. Tell him.
Oh yeah, I've been waiting for this one. All right, so greatest of all time. I'm gonna do the old school first. So my greatest of all time is Sting. Sting is.
Yo, I can't even be mad at you for that one. That's a great one.
Which version?
What?
Which version?
Yeah, hell yeah.
It matters. It matters.
It does matter.
First Pro Sting. It's a tie between First Pro Sting and then the Sting that beat Flair that first time.
Yeah.
Oh, Blade Runner Sting.
Surfer Sting.
Yeah,
Surfer Sting. Yeah.
Both Surfer, and also like that mid era, right between Crow, like when his hair was black, but he had like kind of like I'm not a traitor to WCW.
Yeah.
I'm turning my back on the crowd. Yeah. It's kind of like pioneering that whole tweener, that lone wolf fighting the bad guy. So like Sting, I kind of identified with him because it's kind of like that romantic, wrestler. And it's just like that, between Bret Hart and Sting and Ricky Choshu, I just love looking at that Scorpion Deathlock. I love looking at that. I love looking at the Sasori Gatame. I like looking at the Sharpshooter. Current favorite. All right, you guys are. Oh man, it's a tie between these two. Kenny Omega is who brought me back to enjoying wrestling again and like identifying with somebody kind of similar in like interest and because I'm a big nerd for Japan in general. I listen to Japanese talk and anime and all that stuff. So he's somebody I was able to identify with personally, but he's tied with this other guy, Naomichi Marufuji of Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
The thing about Marufuji is like I think of like Tajiri's kicks and stuff like that, but you take that to like a Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan level where it's like he's got the spinning kicks, he's got like the hook kicks, he's got kicks for days. He's got as many kicks as Bill Gates got dollars. Yeah, now Marufuji. You brought up Minoru Suzuki. Like one of my favorite matches is his matches Marufuji versus Minoru Suzuki. So it's
I love Suzuki, man.
Like And I picked those three as my, like, if I was a wrestler, I want to be a combination of those three: Sting, Kenny Omega, and Naomichi Marufuji. I want to be all three of those.
It's a good mix.
One.
Yeah, that's a very good mix.
You'll be in jail. You'll be in jail.
It will be in jail.
Yeah, for stealing the show.
I want to be all three of those guys. I want to have the makeup. I want to have the makeup. I want to have the, you know, all the fast, cool, flashy stuff and fun, you know, charisma, the kind of Kenny has, and then all that kung fu, martial arts, karate that Naomichi Marufuji has, you know, combined with the wrestling, that blend, you know. So those are my guys.
All right. Mr. Kennedy.
What up? My number one, it transitions depending on which one of them is currently active, but it is absolutely Shawn Michaels, because there's a lot of parallels in his career that were that synced up with the right spots in my life. My first exposure to him was when he was in the Rockers, the original Rockers. I love the Rockers, and then there was an angle where he broke his leg and Marty had to wrestle singles and Shawn was outside. I was like 6 years old watching that, and I was like emotionally attached to that. The barbershop segment was amazing at the time. I was like, oh, shit, he's now going bad. And I was like,
iconic.
oh, I didn't know you could, I didn't know you could do that. Cut to like 7 years later, I'm going through puberty and DX shows up, and that is the perfect 13-year-old pubescent boy action. It's just dick and fart jokes left and right.
I was up all night.
Yeah. Cut to when he pseudo-retired the night of after WrestleMania 14. It instantly became Jericho. Jericho was doing all the same things, the jokes. He was hilarious on the mic, great in the ring.
Yeah.
Then Shawn came back, so then it was Shawn again. Shawn goes away. Now it's Jericho again because he's still He's still doing everything. He's still on the mic. He's still reinventing himself.
Man.
He's putting over younger talent. He has like 2 losses to Orange Cassidy and 1 to Scorpio. Which is, if you asked me that like 2 years ago, I would never have guessed those indie guys would be up there beating a world champion. Who I like to watch now is really hard because it depends on how they're allowed to work within the company. So there's a lot of my favorite wrestlers who are just, I'm entertained by their performances. Like I like Damian Priest a lot. I like Pac a lot. Time will tell if they climb up to my top 5 list. And then I want to show a little shout out because a lot of times your favorite band is a local band that you have just seen a lot of times. And I grew up not only being trained by, but watching in person more than any other wrestler, Super Dragon. Watching Super Dragon in person and reffing over a dozen of his matches in person and seeing him that close was always exciting and terrifying at the same time. Seeing him do moves I'd never seen before at that time, it literally 6 feet away from me. First time I ever saw Phoenix Splash, I was reffing his match. Really opened the door to Japanese wrestling, even though he's a white guy. I want to break kayfabe for you right now. Super Dragon's not really a dragon.
He's an honorary dragon. From one
he's an honorary.
Dragon.
Maybe not. I know he works a little stiff from first-hand experience. That original Psycho Driver is a motherfucker. But he would be like my favorite indie wrestler, and but that's my complete list right there. It's pretty simple.
Nice. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, awesome list, man.
I fucking love it. Now, here's another question now that I'm curious to hear you guys. If you were the booker for AEW or for any promotion, what dream match would you book? Like, so I'll ask you, Jonah, what would you do?
Why do you put me first? You just said it. Like, seconds later.
Is that from any generation?
Any generation.
No, I got 2, so I'll make them quick. But you go first. Obviously, I'm just.
I'm gonna have to get you on this one. Yeah.
Oh man, so much pressure.
Let's do like a Legends. Let's do like a fantasy match, and then like something that could actually happen.
Yeah, I feel like there's just so many. There's so many options like to choose from.
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. That, like, I would want to see Bret and AJ. I know it's cheating because I'm stealing from earlier, but I want to. Okay. That's a match that I really want to see. Like that. The fact you guys brought that up. Legends. I don't know. Go to someone else and come back, and I'll let you know.
Go ahead, Chris.
Thinking
Take
about
it out. Go ahead. You already have it, Chris. Go for it.
Okay. So my legends, and this probably wouldn't work because they are literally the mirrored image Spider-Man of each other. But I'd like to see Mr. Perfect and Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Oh, Mr. Perfect would kill him.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but he would whip him into shape. You would get. I think Mr. Perfect would whip him into groveling. And I know they're both the heel with the same exact gimmick, but I would just love to see that match, just because I am asked what match I'd like to see. And then a realistic match, and we're probably going to get this in this lifetime, is going to be Kenny Omega holding the AEW heavyweight title versus Pac.
Ooh.
That is going to happen. We live in the reality where that is on our timeline.
Yeah.
Thanos has snapped us onto that timeline, and
We can actually see that.
Yeah, I can see that. Definitely, I can see that. James, how about yourself?
Just thinking.
Tough question.
I've got two for me classics.
All right.
We mentioned it earlier, Bret v. Kurt Angle. That's definitely one of them. Like two of my favorite. Obviously, Bret's my favorite. I've always loved Kurt Angle, so definitely two of them. The other one would have been, and it was actually going to happen before he sadly passed away, would have been Guerrero v. Shawn Michaels.
Ooh.
That was, I think that was penciled in for Mania 22.
Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately, sadly passed away, but you can only imagine.
What was the first? I'm sorry, I didn't make the first name. Shawn and who?
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh fuck yeah! God damn.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
the
second one, yeah.
right there.
Yeah, well, I think they used to call Eddie Guerrero the Mexican Shawn Michaels when he was wrestling over there. And the two of them never actually wrestled at all. They had a couple of like interactions, but never actually wrestled. So that just would have been, if Angle and Shawn Michaels were so great of a match, I can only imagine what them two would have been.
Oh yeah.
Current stuff. Now you see, there's a guy who I like, but not a lot of people do. I love Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I love Lesnar.
Yeah. I'm entertained. Entertainment doesn't mean I love or hate him.
I think, because to me, he is the ultimate trope for internet wrestling fans.
Yeah.
Because
and they use him like that too.
Whatever he does, it just pisses people off, and I love it. And the Royal Rumble this year is in my top 5 Rumbles of all time, because he was so good.
It was so good.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I'm watching it. He's throwing everyone out, and I'm looking at Twitter, and people's going, "Oh, why is he doing this?" I loved every minute of it.
Putting that Money in the Bank was so glorious for me because I'm a
yes. When he just ran in and shoved everyone in, that was great.
They didn't tell. I forget who was on top of the ladder. Mustafa Ali. They didn't tell him who was going to come out and win. They just said that you're not winning it, but someone's going to come out. And his look on his face, that was pure fourth wall. And I love, like you said, I love contrarianism. It's so great with Brock.
Yeah. And for me, dream match, who I would actually have him with, for pure comedy, well, for pure murder, I would love to be him being in the ring with Marcus Stunt, because I would like to see that guy be took out of wrestling altogether. And it would be pretty good to watch.
You're a mean person.
That's what I want to say. Lesnar, I would probably like to see him face Tanahashi. I reckon that would be really good.
The ace.
Tanahashi, one of the best baby faces of all time. And I don't talk about New Japan as much as I should, but Okada and Tanahashi is my two guys, and I love Tanahashi.
Okada's the shit, man. I can't wait to see more Okada.
I'll play the Tanahashi theme for you, but I don't have my guitar plugged in.
But yeah, them two, like Brock doing what he's best, just being this, big aggressive like heel against the ultimate babyface. It would be magic, but yes, I would say them.
Aishtamas. That's I love you, what he usually says at the end. And he's got his fingers like this. Aishtamas, love you to the crowd. Tanahashi sets the audience at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
Here, let me jump in. Let me jump in from before.
Do this.
So my go-to, and this would be less about the match itself, more about the storytelling, would be Raven at his height versus the Fiend or Swamp Bray Wyatt. Either one.
Oh my
God.
Incredible.
Fire.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That would be fire.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Whether the match itself lived up to it or not, those guys didn't really need it. I feel
like a cinematic, like their own cinematic match.
I would prefer. I mean, maybe both. I'd want an actual match, but a cinematic match would be interesting too. If I'm going for a dream match, it's like a normal match. So
it has to be.
Especially like with the Swamp match too. If it's Swamp Bray Wyatt, then you got Luke Harper and all them in there.
Exactly. Yeah. And imagine they bring the
Dark Order.
Yeah, exactly.
The Wyatts.
Imagine just the storyline with that with Raven and the Fiend. That would be, oh my god.
Yeah.
Ravens.
That might be the one match Bray actually wins. You know.
And we might get the match that everybody's been wanting to see: Perry Saturn versus Luke Harper.
Poppy versus Husky Harris, the Piggy Harris.
Oh my god!
I forget the name of the character.
How about you, Cal Frank?
Go for it.
The match that I would want to see right now, just because the interaction would be amazing: The Fiend versus Orange Cassidy. I would love to see Orange Cassidy's reaction if the Fiend showed up in front of him.
Oh, I already know his reaction.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that would be amazing. It would be so funny. Because, like, you'd have the best friends terrified, and he's just like...
Oh, man. I love that. I love that dynamic.
Yeah, and just I think the promos would be great, too, because then he'd have to deal with Funhouse Bray Wyatt. And again, he just looks like he doesn't give a fuck.
I'm in agreement with that. I like that one.
I love it.
I like
fantasy match.
That wasn't your fantasy match.
Well, that's something that could happen now.
Holy shit!
In terms of fantasy, Chris Benoit against his son.
Oh wow!
I'm kidding.
No. Let's be fair. The silver lining is the son that survived and is currently wrestling.
Yes. Clarification.
No, Chris Benoit versus Owen Hart, I think, would have been an amazing match.
Yeah,
we never got to see it.
Yeah,
we got
no bullshit aside. Yes.
Yeah, no bullshit aside. Bret Hart versus Benoit was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think him and Owen would have absolutely would have torn the house down.
Destroyed it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be a little bit generic a bit because I'm sure everybody's said they wanted to see this match. Sting versus Undertaker in their peak would have been, my God, it's something we'll probably never get, and we should have got as fans, you know. And now they're saying that they wanted to do it a couple of years ago, but I know at least one of them said, you know what, they probably would have embarrassed themselves to the point where ruined their legacies and stuff like that. But you don't want to. I don't know. It's just weird to me that it never happened, and they keep talking about it, but. I rather they don't talk about it because if they do it, which you know WWE, they could pull something off in 10 years. They could be 60 years old.
They can make it cinematic. I hate to use cinematic as like an excuse.
Yeah.
Like they could do a cinematic match because obviously they are not going to perform the best in the ring.
Yeah.
But at least with cinematic, you have takes, you have cuts, you have angles.
Yeah. But do you like for me, Undertaker? I think his legacy. He always wanted to go out like almost like everybody else. You know, the big ceremony, the big everything. And then he got a cinematic match that there was no fans. And I think Undertaker needed the fans as a wrestler, right? His character needs the fans in the arena or the stadium, wherever they would have had it. But it's just too bad we couldn't see that match. So
I almost stopped watching wrestling altogether just because of not getting that. Like my disappointment was so heavy because you know, I would like the second I found out Sting was retiring, I was like, not gonna watch wrestling again. Like it took Kenny Omega to bring me back.
The whole thing when he got injured with what was it, Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins.
I think that might have screwed a little bit of the timeline up because maybe they would have had the match to Undertaker maybe a year after, build it up a bit, but you know, it is what it is. But hey, like they say in WWE, you never know what could happen. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. But
we might get that on the same card as Shawn Michaels and AJ.
Yeah.
We're gonna all be
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Right now, the match I want to see Triple H versus Cody Rhodes. Let's get it done.
Okay.
That's it. That's
Golden
it.
shovel on a pole.
Golden shovel on a pole match or whatever it is.
You can call that the Keys to the Castle match right there.
Stephanie and Brandy right before. Would it be? Would we also get Stephanie and Brandy right before that?
Imagine that.
Oh,
Well,
God.
even you know what, a 2-on-2 would be great.
But as long as it's Brandy from this past Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
very upset, Brandy Rhodes.
Yes.
I don't need cookie cutter Brandy. No, I need that one.
Yeah, those are my matches.
All right.
All right.
Brother Bovin, what do you got for us? I mean,
dream match: Rusev and Taz.
Ooh. A nice.
Wow.
Rusev,
That is a smart match. I love it.
Awesome. And as far as right now, Drew McIntyre and Roosh. Come on now.
Ooh.
Roosh? Oh, not bad. ROH, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Drew McIntyre and Roosh. I would have loved to see that because none of them get tired. They don't get tired. I would love to see that. Come on now.
I'm with you on
Fire.
that.
I got That's all.
Go ahead, Kofi.
Let's say for me right now, the match I would like to see right now is probably two matches I would like to see right now. Orange Cassidy versus what's my guy name? I don't know why the fuck I can't think of his name. I was just thinking about it. I'll come back to it. But the New Day versus the Young Bucks.
Oh, dude, yeah, tag team matches.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about tag team.
That would be amazing.
The New Day versus the
Yeah.
and JOFO said it, Sting versus The Undertaker. You know, that was probably the one match that I was like, hey, let's get it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's really it, man. You know, damn, I can't remember the guy I wanted to fight Orange Cassidy, but it's all right.
Anybody.
Al Snow?
Orange Cassidy and the 24/7 champ. I don't know why I can't think of his name.
R-Truth.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy.
That would be good. Dude. That would be comedy and technicality.
Yeah.
Because I like comedy. I'm more like I watch it just for the story. You know, I'm more of this. I don't care too much about the movies. I'm like, they cool, but I like the funniness. You know.
Yeah.
You like to be entertained.
It's entertained him. Yeah.
Like, what's up? You just said.
Yeah, I would like to see it. It would just be funny to me. You know, I don't think they don't even have to wrestle. They just can talk. You know, it's just like backstage segment. I would like it. You know.
I love it.
I like that.
I like it. That shit. That actually would be a.
You going to win. Would win.
Because they like Orange Cassidy's over. If R-Truth even loses, it wouldn't even matter if R-Truth loses because he's the type to get up and do some
Not at
funny
all.
shit.
Yeah.
You know,
What's
I just think it'd be entertaining.
I love it. Mr. Hero, what do you got?
Well, I always wanted to see this. 16-year-old me wishes he would have seen The Rock versus Shawn Michaels. The build up to that would have been fun. You know, the match itself, those guys, maybe like in 1999, would have been cool to see. So there's that. But also, my other match that I wanted to see was Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley in the UFC.
In the UFC.
Oh, or Bellator,
I would like to see that. You know, heavyweights or even Jake Hager in there. You know, we could.
Yeah.
Are we going to see them in a wrestling ring fight, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley? That's the question.
Hell no, Joe. Hell no.
I thought we were getting that like 2 summers ago when they gave it to Roman.
That's I've heard it more than once over the last couple of at least the last year. And what I heard too is that Bobby Lashley in his contract has a stipulation that he wants to fight Brock Lesnar in a wrestling ring. If it's a wrestling match or a ultimate fighting match, he wants to have that match, and that's the reason why he came to WWE. I don't know if it's true or anything, but I've heard it more than once from people.
Yeah, they gave it to Roman. I thought for sure Lashley was going to get it.
Yeah, they gave it to Roman because him and Roman was beefing. You got up. and they
but you could kind of see where they're bringing Bobby Lashley now. They're trying to push him slowly, so that if he does face Brock Lesnar, it's a little bit believable, like when they do fight, right? Because you just can't throw anybody to Brock Lesnar.
Lashley's very untouchable right now. I think Lashley's like at the best I've seen him in a long time.
But that's what I'm saying. So why not pull the trigger on that and see what happens? You know, so we'll see. Yeah. Only time will tell, I guess.
I agree 100% because they're really protecting Lashley.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, really protecting him, and they should. I would like to see that match. I mean, I don't know why Bruce, fucking make the match happen for God's sakes. Call us.
They're in the same brand.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Come on.
They're going to be in the comment section. No,
that could be a situation where they maybe, because I'm sure there's a lot of matches AEW and WWE wants to do, but I think it would benefit them to have an actual crowd there to do this. Like the FTR Young Bucks with a crowd would have been 10 times.
Yeah. I agree.
You know what I mean? So
fighting in the audience, fighting in the crowd.
Yeah.
What
do you mean? Sorry?
Go ahead, James.
Sorry, yeah, it's one of my theories for next year's WrestleMania, like who's going to challenge Roman Reigns. I do think if there is going to be a crowd, it will be The Rock.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
If there's no,
the real chief at the table.
Yeah, that's how it's working. If there's no crowd, could be McIntyre, but I think it could possibly be Big E as well. Big E is one of my dark horses to win the Rumble.
I think Big E's going to win the Rumble. Yeah.
So I think it'll be between one of them two, McIntyre or Big E.
I wonder if they're going to change his character at all. If they do push.
I hope so.
They should change his character.
Yeah.
I don't know about character-wise, though. I don't know about changing the character.
The music for sure. The music has to change.
The music has
to go.
Yeah.
Just the music needs to go. Yeah. And maybe the gear. Maybe change the gear a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree with the appearance. I would have changed it. The development of the story will be actually great. You know, just like how Kofi's story, for example, and then now implement for him. So that'll be awesome as well.
And
I really wanted Uso to
keep the clap. So
yeah, keep the clap as well.
Yeah, Big E rocks. There you go. It's done.
Yeah,
there
you go. Big E rocks. You know what I mean?
Actually, I trademarked that, so WWE has to pay me now.
I did say to Jonah last week, so say Roman Reigns still carries on as champion, and say he's in the ring with the Usos, and say they've got another couple of members, and having this promo in the ring, and all of a sudden they'll be like, we've beaten everyone, and all of a sudden all you can hear is shock the system. And that's
wow. That's dude. Yeah. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
That'd be another match too. It's Adam Cole versus Shawn Michaels.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yo, Shawn's winning.
But like 97 Shawn Michaels.
Shawn is winning. Shawn is definitely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Also, don't get me wrong, but Shawn is winning, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
come on. I feel like if I would have said that in front of him, he would have punched me in the face. Just with the look of disappointment on his face. Did you see that?
Right?
Oh, man.
But, I feel that, with Adam Cole, Shawn Michaels has a lot of influence in Adam Cole. And Adam Cole's that character developed more when he came to NXT. He already had that character from Ring of Honor, PWG. Like, we could go back on it. But him going to NXT and then Shawn Michaels helping him, because Shawn Michaels said it, I believe he said it himself, that it reminisces about himself with Adam Cole.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of helped, along with his career, developed his charisma more. And we do see that a lot for Adam Cole and the rest of the faction. I
think there's footage. I forget what the angle was, but Adam Cole was backstage and Shawn kissed him on the forehead or some shit. I forget the exact details.
Wow. Yeah.
It was kind of like you have my blessing to take my candle, my torch.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. That's respect.
What happened to Dolph Ziggler? Why he didn't do that to Dolph Ziggler?
Should have been me.
Ziggler took it anyway. He took it anyway with the super kick. He didn't need the blessing.
No, he did. He did it. But another one we did forget to mention. I actually wanted to see Hardy and Michaels feud. That would have been something. Jeff Hardy and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for me. Will be passing the torch to Jeff Hardy. my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how everybody feels
But,
about it.
you know, yeah, in retrospect, probably not the smartest idea, but yeah, you know.
Okay,
What we know now, just, you know, with recovery and what Jeff's been through, we didn't know back then. Now his issues.
Shawn Michaels too.
Yeah. Real talk.
All right, definitely.
Shawn had some different addictions, like Sonny.
90 days.
I mean, to be fair.
No, yeah,
but
you can
fucking Sunny.
Yeah, you can OD on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody was fucking Sunny.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, maybe even nowadays, you take like a little taste.
I was trying to get Eric one of my first guests for the show, and I emailed her, and she said to me, sorry, I'm not doing podcasts anymore. So I was like, no problem. 2 weeks later, she got arrested.
Oh my God.
Clearly showed her the right way.
How'd you contact her? Was it through OnlyFans?
Oh my God.
Back in 97,
I only answer boys who are on rebuild.
Back in 97, I'd be all on that.
Oh man, yeah, that's for sure, man. That's definitely. Wait, are we forgetting you, Matt?
Yeah.
Go for it.
So I got a few. I'll go with my old school ones first. God, well, I want to give out as many as I can if I can get away with that. I won't even want to go into detail.
At least one.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go with Randy Savage versus The Rock.
Ooh. Fire.
I like that.
Fire.
Yeah.
Almost would have been crazy.
Yeah, that would have
been crazy.
Because my idea was to have that be the B match for, you know, right before Stone Cold versus Hogan. That could have been like the perfect, like if they came in together, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, they could have had like, you know, we could have still had Rock versus Hogan, and then on the side, Stone Cold versus Macho Man. Like that, like Steve Austin.
Name the price for that WrestleMania.
Yeah,
fuck.
That would have been the best. That would have been the best card, but it didn't happen for unknown reasons. You know, speculate how many times you guys can.
Yeah, fucking Triple H would have been on the kickoff.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what would have been perfect. I could have been like the and then reverse that card the next WrestleMania. Hulk Hogan, Stone, and, you know, Macho Man reverse, and then the other. So I'll go right to modern day. You know, I got two for modern day: Tetsuya Naito versus Samoa Joe.
In Japan.
That's a top match.
Anywhere
On the street.
Anywhere.
In our backyard.
I'll see them in a cage. I'll see them, you know, from the top of the building. I don't care. I want to see those two.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, let me ask you a quick question, Matt. Who was my first match against?
Samoa Joe.
He knows.
Random facts out there. You know how it works.
Hey, Chris is showing off. Okay, Chris.
Did you take the buster or did you get the?
No, I forget. I fucking do. Literally, I'm only joking about the clout. That was literally like 20 years ago, like almost exactly.
It's true though. Chris did face Samoa Joe as a.
It's almost a winning joke.
Hold on. You want to know who my first match was with? Ivan.
There
you go.
Yes.
Dream match. Got to happen.
That was a dream match.
Chris,
it was.
Did you take an Enziguri or did you take?
I think it was a power bomb. I think it was just like a standing power bomb. I don't remember, bro. I'm sorry.
Was it?
I smoke a lot of weed.
Did it hurt? That's the main question.
No, it was fine. I didn't walk away with that. I remember not walking away going like, "Oh, I never want to wrestle him," like I did with like some other people I won't name.
That's cool. And my other here's the biggest card I'd say that could happen. That could, if they build it right, this could surpass Hogan and Rock. If they build it right, this for modern day, you guys. This is especially, you know, one of them they're building up right now in the United States. He was bigger in Japan. Kenny Omega versus John Cena. I think.
Oh my God!
I mean, John can work, bro. Don't put it past him. John and Owens was a good wrestling match.
Yes.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I
Yes.
think it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
they could really build something around that too, that would draw like both sides of the AEW and WWE. Like that'd be a huge event. Where would they do it though?
That's the
Who would
ultimate
take that one?
corporation versus the indies match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
John Cena, because John Cena's kind of in like a Hulk Hogan post '95 position right now,
Yeah.
right? Because he's not like John Cena's not quite in WWE at the moment because he's just like doing movies. So, you know, if Tony Khan pulls an Eric Bischoff, shows up on set and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, so whoops, I dropped the suitcase and then the money falls out of it, and John Cena's like, And then we get that episode of Dynamite. It's like, who's behind this curtain? Well, how you guys doing?
That'd be crazy.
We showed Rock
only if Tony Khan could find him.
Yeah.
Right?
Tony Khan could show up in China, like it somewhere. John Cena's doing one of his publicity things in China, or Shima from OWE is probably hanging out somewhere in China, and he meets up with John Cena. They speak Chinese. They eat Chinese food together. You know, and John Cena's like, "This sounds like a good idea."
That's all it takes, yeah.
Or as they call it in China, food.
No, but you know what? So, all right, this if they book this shit, they really book it. It should be in Fight Island. Nowhere in the States, make it in Fight Island. Might as well.
Technically, Crown Jewel is basically just like a block.
Well, yeah, well, pretty much. Why not book it over there? It'll be away from the territory, you know, away from the
neutral
States,
ground. Yeah.
Exactly, neutral ground, and there you go. Whoever wins. I see.
It's
Kenny
like
Bennett.
Shang Tsung's Island.
There you go, Shang Tsung Island, Mortal Kombat. That's right.
Do it in international waters with CM Punk on commentary.
There you go.
Oh, do it
on an oil rig. Do it on an oil rig or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I had this match just as a joke, just because everything rhymed. But I was like, Aha Kong versus Awesome Kong in Hong Kong with special guest referee Radon Kong.
Put on my Tony Khan.
Tony Khan, Radon Chong. The referee's going to be Radon Chong, Tommy Chong's daughter. So Radon Chong.
There you go.
This sounds like Eminem lyrics.
Special ring announcing King Kong.
Right. And you know, Hong Kong could be OWE, so OWE could promote it. So it's like Hong Kong, Awesome Kong, Aha Kong in Hong Kong.
I like where your head's at.
I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. Now, before we go, we would like to actually have all of us here, which we're all going to say thank you, which we do thank you for all the viewers and subscribers that subscribe to our podcast, to our YouTube channels, and our social media platforms. We thank you for tuning in, watching our shows. And hopefully in the future, you will see a lot with us collaborating more, which I hope we do. Because I would like to do a Royal Rumble collaboration, WrestleMania collaboration.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Anytime.
Exactly. Why not? You know?
Listen, I appreciate you guys too, man. I appreciate this little family, little network. You know, I really do. You know,
I love you guys.
I love you guys too.
We didn't know what to do. We didn't know, left from right. So just to have this for us means a whole lot. So we really appreciate it. We're thankful for you guys.
No, we thank you, brother. We thank all of you guys because you guys make, you guys make it happen. All of your guys' channel, you guys put out the best content for all of, our viewers. And I love it. I love every single bit of it, of what you guys do. And I hope you guys continue that and keep it going. And hopefully one day, we could actually be together in person once this pandemic is over. And
absolutely, yeah.
I've never been to New York, bro. I want to try all your pizza.
Yeah. I would like to go to Canada. I would like to go to UK.
I have this
Montreal diagonal.
I want to walk from Wall Street all the way up to, maybe not up, as far as north as
you don't.
You don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go to New York. I need some of that Grace papaya. So
you guys can come have some In-N-Out.
tacos in LA.
We trying to get to Cali.
Yeah.
If anybody comes to California, let us know.
Right
We
here.
will definitely.
For sure.
Let
Same
us
here, guys.
know.
Montreal.
Definitely in LA. If you're in LA, let us know. We'll definitely collab and
Take
do it
to
in
the
person.
spots.
Yeah, take it to the spots, definitely. Now, before we, our final exit, so I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with Cal and Frank. Tell the viewers, where can they find you? Let them know. Let the people know.
Well, right now, you could find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
TikTok.
And TikTok as well. JOFO in the Ring. One word, JOFO in the Ring on all
I'm gonna follow
four social
everybody in
media
your
platforms. We have our YouTube channel up and running. We were on the JOFO Podcast YouTube channel, which is our main channel, but now we've branched out to our own channel now with all our episodes, all our top fives, all our good idea, bad ideas, all our spoilers. You name it, we got it. All on JOFO in the Ring YouTube page. And
definitely go subscribe to the other show too.
Yeah, and we're trying to dabble into the Twitch world now, so look out for that as well. JOFO in the Ring on Twitch as well.
And we're going to be putting more content out on the TikTok soon.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. Mr. James, let the people know where can they find you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me on Instagram, that 90s Wrestling Podcast, and you can find me on Twitter at 90s Wrestling Pod. And yeah, the show is available on the YouTube channel, which we're trying to build up, so it's getting there. But you can also listen to all my interviews, podcast and form on Spotify, Podbean, and all them good places. So yeah, please subscribe if possible.
Definitely, there you go, Mr.
I'm
Jonah.
not gonna lie. If Jonah, I'm sorry to say this, but if Jonah had his voice, he would be James Bond right now.
Or we could just do American Bond.
Oh, that's great.
with the tugs. Mr. Jonah, take it away. Where can they find you?
Yeah, it's going to be Rewind, Recap, Relive on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. We're not on Twitter yet. I keep saying we're going to get around to it, and we will. Not on TikTok either. That's interesting. I want to see your content that you put out on TikTok. It's really cool that you branched out into that.
Awesome,
We've had we've had the biggest star, I'd say, I don't want to compare, but we've had Jake the Snake, which was amazing. That's one of my favorite interviews we have on there. We got Teddy Long, Eugene I mentioned earlier, Heath Slater, Eric Redbeard. Teddy has been the coolest part of this, just to digress real fast, is Teddy comments on so many posts I put up on Instagram. Like, he's almost like a friend of the show. Like he's cleared it. Listen, Teddy Long has cleared the show. So if you really want to check something out, check it out. It's Teddy Long approved.
Nice.
But yeah, YouTube is where we post all of our episodes. So totally subscribe if you like what you see. Weekly giveaways too. I've been told I don't plug that enough. We give shit away every single week. So
Definitely, yes. He definitely did. He does. So make sure you guys tune in with that, because he does weekly giveaways, autograph, signed pictures, a lot more that he gives away. And then usually we'll join in too, but we don't win. But it is what it is.
You could win. It's random. You never know.
You never know.
Is it as random as the Royal Rumble numbers too?
Right, there you go.
Just like the Royal Rumble number.
Oh, Drew McIntyre, 27. Oh.
Brother Bowman, Kobe Weaston, give the people what they want. Where can they find you?
Man. We available on YouTube, we on Spotify, we on Apple, we on Twitter, or you got hashtag DIRTYHEELZ. We have shirts, we on Pro Wrestling Tees. Just holler at us, man. We love you. We love you.
Say go to IG. What is it? DIRTYHEELZ_132. DIRTYHEELZ_132. And that's really it, man. I don't really know everything, because, like I said, I don't handle this stuff. He does. I don't. I don't.
I love it. Now, before obviously you can find us on Circle Debate on YouTube. You can also find us on our Instagram, Circle Debate, Twitter at Circle Debate as well. We're working in the project of doing a Facebook page, and also we're in the process of updating our website, so I'm looking forward for that. So before we actually leave, I want to go ahead and reveal to all of you guys, but I wanted to reveal our new logo. I'm putting it out here for the for us, you know. So I'm gonna put it out
Got to
here.
give the people what they want.
I'm gonna give the people what they want. So I'm gonna move out of the way so you guys can see it. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen,
Nice.
I like it.
There it is.
Yeah.
There you
I like
go.
it.
That is a new logo.
That's what's
for
up
us.
right there.
Circle of Debate. That's right.
That's
Our
sick,
new logo.
I like it. I like it.
Nice.
I love it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's our new logo that we have out, which I will be putting out. We also are in the works of doing merchandise as well for it. And obviously, you, my brothers, I'm gonna send it to you guys. So once it's ready, just give me the email. Give me the mailing address, and I'll send it all to you guys.
Nice.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love all of you guys, and for us, our subscribers and viewers, happy Thanksgiving. This is what us telling you. Thank you. We're thankful for you guys subscribing to our channels, and also loving and showing love, support to all of us. So continue to keep doing that. Spread the word of all of our channels. Keep spreading the word.
Spread the word. Yeah, get it out
Definitely,
there.
Get it out there.
Keep supporting.
That's right. From here, from Los Angeles, from Manhattan, New York, from Harlem, New York, from United Kingdom, from Canada, we're all saying to you guys, buenas noches, salud, good night, and we'll see you.
Say good night.
And right, bang. That's right. Good night, everybody.
And
Love you guys, man. Love you guys.
Thank you, man. Love y'all.